In your helmet. Oh, we're filming? Who wants to see a carbon fiber helmet? This is 2018 season's helmet. Barco. You guys ready? Woo! It's the fat weave carbon. We're moving a bunch of Supras so we can look at that Supra over there. And then we'll be ready to talk about it. Hey man, don't touch it. Alright guys, so we did a lot of work on the car while you guys were away. We put the motor in, we plugged in all the hoses, put the exhaust manifold on, finished up little details that we hadn't done yet because we were waiting for the motor to go in. We got most of the electrical laid in, we're still not done with that. We finished up with the back end, all the fuel cell, pumps, put the plumbing in, and then all the ducting for the radiator and all the back, like we could check it out in a second, but all the back. Two really cool things happened in the week that you guys were away. One is this part that I've been developing for a long time. This part that I've been developing over the course of the last year with a buddy of mine, and we went through many revisions in 3D printing, and we came out with this, and it's on the FD car for this season. Check it out. So it is right here. It goes in place of where your stock water pump would go if you're running an electric water pump that's in the back for a rear radiator car. You don't need a water pump, so then this is your cleanest way to enter into the motor and still run all this front cover plastic so your timing belt's not exposed. And it's an idea I had over the couple of years, but like last year I really dedicated myself to finish it because now no rubber will get in my belt, and also it just looks clean. Okay guys, one other thing I'm excited about is BorgWarner EFR's new series that they came out with. They just developed the next level of an 8374 and a 9174. So 83 stepped up to an 8474. I don't run that turbo, but I'm just mentioning it. I run a 9174, but now I'm running a 9274. So it has 4.5 millimeters bigger inlet, and then you'll be able to differentiate them because this will be black anodized. So that's how you know if it's like the newest version. So it has the same rear housing size and then a larger front housing. So in theory, it's supposed to spool just as quick, but then give you more top end power. And we've already proven that theory because they gave me a sample version at the beginning or the middle of last season. We put it on the dyno and we gained like 55 horsepower and 35 torque. So we're excited to be running this for the entire season. I just thought I'd share it with you guys. Boom. We put the back piece on. This is fiberglass. It's painted. It's blue. The whole car won't be blue. You'll find out soon what the whole car looks like. But we were kind of stuck on wiring right now, so we still have a lot of time to put into wiring. As you can see, if you come over here and look, we're like most of the way there, but some stuff is not terminated yet, and we haven't shrunk the brake cam yet. So we're working our way forward from the back, and we have the wiring in the front, but it's not finished yet either. So we have like a week straight left of wiring. And then after the wiring, we can put the body panels on and then test everything, go to the dyno. But we're just kind of waiting on the rest of the body stuff and the doors so we can climb in and out of the car a bunch of times. And that stuff should go quick. This is the last technical part that's gonna be time consuming. But I think we can still make it happen in the time that we have. We have about 3 weeks left till the car needs to be on the dyno. Okay, so some of you guys might be wondering why we run the radiators in the back of the car and not in the front of the car where the motor is and all this excessive plumbing back and forth. There's kind of a couple reasons. One reason would be if there's not enough space, or second reason would be that there's too much heat because you're stacking an oil cooler, an intercooler, and a radiator, and so everything's making each other hot with, you know, all the heat from one another, so then your cooling system doesn't work as good. Third reason would be that you need more weight over your back axles so that you can get more grip so you could go faster and drift. So all of the above are reasons why we've moved everything to the back, or all the people in Formula Drift basically, except maybe exception of 2 people, have everything in the back. And so that's could answer some of your guys' questions. And then I was also going to talk about the fuel cell. Some people might still be running a traditional fuel tank that came in the chassis. I'd say the people that are doing that probably have a chassis that the cell is kind of mid-mounted underneath where the back seat would have been, so that would be like better for lower center of gravity, and for when the car rotates, it's not this big weight that's like on a pendulum behind the car. In a Supra, the stock tank was already right here, so it doesn't really change the weight balance by putting a smaller fuel cell back here. It's kind of just one and the same. But one thing that has evolved over the years, a lot of guys are running these surge tanks so that you know, when you're pulling like G's or sloshing back and forth, it will not surge. So you have your lift pump that's on the outside of a surge tank, and then it's filling up some like 2-liter space in here, and in there it's always going to be full of fuel, so there's no surging, and then your primary pumps are in there. So in here we have 3 other pumps inside of the surge tank. So that's kind of the go-to on most of these pro drift cars these days, so hopefully that could answer some of those questions if you guys might have them. Alright guys, I'm going to show you some of the stuff that's going to be happening in the next couple days, but it's going to be time consuming, so I'm going to just kind of describe to you what's going to go on, and then you can imagine how many hours are going to get spent in this area right here. So here's the ECU I'm going to run. It mounts right here like this. So imagine that ECU there. Here's a flying lead harness that's going to have all the inputs and outputs coming in and out of the ECU. This is going to get terminated much shorter than this 9-foot length that it comes from Pro EFI in. But what we're going to do is connect these inputs and outputs. Some of them are going to go through a bulkhead that goes out into the engine bay. Some of them are going to go over to this PDM, which stands for Power Distribution Module. So this goes in places of your relays or fuses and stuff like that, and it will send the signals to and from like your pumps and your fans and anything else you program it to, and you control that either just with the settings in there that you programmed, or if you need an override, or if it's like an ignition button, it will be on this little keypad. So that this communicates with this, and this communicates with this, and I need to wire it all in with the help of the guys here at the shop. So that's what's ahead of us right now. So now you guys have this picture of what's gonna happen, so I gotta get to that, and I got a lot of time to spend right in this area. Overall, that's what I have planned for today and the next couple days. So when I see you guys next week, you can see how far I've got on the wiring and the team got on the wiring, and see what's left to do on the car before Long Beach.